I'm Rachel,
Hi, I'm Julia.
where we live in faith every day.
This is Life.
Welcome to Life!
Hey guys!
We thought that we would talk about why we are still in church. I know that for our why people leave church, we talked about how a lot of collegiates and young adults are no longer in the church anymore. And she's a collegiate and I'm a young adult and we're still in church. So we thought it would be interesting to have our mini testimonies of why we are still in church or why we are in the church now.
I actually left the church at one point. Not intentionally. Just like, life got busy, relationships. Yeah. I mean, I left in high school, not in college. College is when I came back. But in high school, I left.
So you left church, but you left church in high school, which is pretty unusual because usually people leave church when they are entering college.
Yeah, so I think I left because of the drama that happened. For me personally, I got along with guys. I still get along with guys more. It's just my personality. So then when I my friends and I, we kind of clash personalities. We had a lot of fights, and now we're really good friends. At the time, I was also entering a relationship, and that relationship caused me to, it was a distraction in my life. So then I started to just naturally leave the church, kind of I wanted to go out with my friend, my guy friends from my school. I want to go eat go eat meat, get Korean barbecue, and then I don't want to go to church. I'd rather spend time with my friends at school, go to I was more into orchestra, so all our orchestra events were on Saturday. So I would go volunteer at the school on Saturdays instead of going to church.
I see.
Yeah. So I was just church is not important. It wasn't my priority. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So I left the church too. Again, not intentional like you. It was during grad school because a lot of my classes were on Saturday.
Right.
So it was weekend classes. It was every other weekend. And so Saturday and Sundays I was in class all day. So on the weekends that I didn't have to go to school, I was so busy trying to catch up with schoolwork. And but what I would try to do is I would try to go on Friday nights because we would have vespers and stuff. So I would try to go, but then it's really tough. I was in California, so the traffic on Fridays
Terrible.
is horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. So I was lucky if I can make it to church. But it was unintentional. It wasn't like I had distractions and so I wanted to leave the church. It was more like a necessity than anything else.
So I came back, and it's so cliche. I came back after I got into a big breakup, but that didn't immediately make me want to go back to church. Because honestly, that's when I didn't have anyone around me. It was my darkest moment. I was by myself, and I think that's when God really gave me the opportunity to look for Him, search for Him, instead of relying on someone. I was relying on this person so much that I lost my identity. I actually went to California. My parents sent me to California to go for healing, go see some family, and I went to a church there. And I was so amazed how welcoming they were, and they really showed me something. Shout out to CK. But seriously, I felt something there, and then I was like, man, I want to do this for my church because I knew our church was struggling. I went back and I started working for the church. I said, hey, I want to do this, and then I got super involved, and I was like, okay, God, I think I know what I want to do. And then I went back.
So, like I said, I didn't really leave the church, but I had a lot of thoughts in my mind of leaving the church. Some of the reasons why I wanted to leave the church was because the people inside the church were worse than the people outside of the church. And so I was like, why do I need to be a part of this? God is all about love, but the people that are supposed to be the more loving and kind that are in the church are the complete opposite. Why should I be here? I was just like, this is not a very healthy place for me to be. If I am stepped on and hurt and bullied, I was more hurt and bullied by the people in the church than outside of church. I went to public school pretty much my entire life, and I had more friends and I felt more loved and more accepted in my school than I did ever at church. So I was like, why am I even here? And I was like, okay, the moment I have a chance, I'm gonna leave. But then I realized that the reason why I didn't leave is because the very people who need to be reached out to are right there in front of me in the church.
Yeah.
So I decided, I've been to different mission trips. I've been to different countries. I've been to a second world country. I've been to a third world country. I've been to Korea. And yeah, I did a lot of different mission work. But I realized you don't have to go out to a different country
No, you don't.
to do ministry.
My church life, it's amazing. There are some trouble spots here and there. I was actually about to leave my church again about half a year ago, and it's because I felt lost of hope. I was trying so hard, but and I was trying to love all these people by myself, and it was really hard because there was one me and there was like 30 of them. And a lot of people were leaving, and I was like, man, I should leave too. And then people came into my church giving me hope, and I'm like, yes, I want to stay here. And right now, it's going great with all of the support, with all the love, and loving myself more really helped me show more love to others. And I'm truly feeling God's love. It's just amazing, with my baptism and everything. So it's truly a blessing. What about you? How's your church life?
So, church life isn't all like a flower road or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's nothing like that. It's a constant struggle. It's a daily struggle. It's a weekly struggle because you're dealing with so many people who are still seeking God, who still need to be reached out to. But I love what I'm doing, and I love what I am trying to do. And I think that's why God is constantly sending me to places where I'm needed, even though I'm just like, and I'm
Why
struggling, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, drama.
Yeah.
But, it helps the fact that I'm like, okay, it's not just me. I have God behind me, like on my back. And so he's like my support. And so I'm like, okay, I'm doing God's work and I'm doing this and this is my purpose. And so I want to do it and I want to do it wholeheartedly. And so it's a constant struggle. But with each person that I reach out to, with each moment that I've reached out to, and I've done quite a bit, now that I've kind of reflect on it, it's like it was all worth it.
It's super rewarding. Especially guys, I know you guys want to leave the church. We talked about this, but really I think for us, our experiences staying at the church really showed us it's worth staying. Because instead of church hopping like we talked about, make a change in your church, be the one to make the change. Then you'll see, people will stick around, because they feel the love. That's what we do to show.
And I find it interesting because our commonality is that we stay in the church so that we can reach out to other people in the church.
Yeah.
Even though we might not have been reached out to, or even though we were struggling really hard, we both realized that we don't have to go out to Africa or to Cambodia or to, India.
I would love to. I've never been, but I want to.
But it's not necessary to do so to reach out to.
You were like, oh, we haven't been reached out to and stuff. I want to add something I think that's what made me want to reach out to others, because that's how I wanted to be reached out to. As strange as it sounds, I wish I was reached out to this, so I'm gonna do that to them.
To other people.
Yeah. So then they can reach out to other people, and it can be this domino effect, right? And that's what we need.
So you want to show love that you felt from other people and from God to them, so that they know what love feels like.
Right.
And then when they feel it and they accept it, then they can do the same.
Yeah, exactly. And it's beautiful. God loves seeing that, you know? Seeing the love being shared. What is that? Sorry, that's a cute. My sister was dancing to it. She's behind the camera.
She's still dancing right now.
Okay.
I think I kind of answered it in the last one. It's like you're dealing with so many people who haven't been reached out in the church, and you're dealing with legalistic people. Trying to break some of those walls down, I think, is a huge struggle, because for me, I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not true love. But they refuse to see it. They can't see it. And so I have to fight fire with fire sometimes. And it's tough because I have to assess where they are and how to reach out to them to where it's not harming them, but building them up. You know, with the Bible verse, is build each other up. That's the biggest struggle, is trying to reach each individual person, seeing where their struggles are, seeing what their blocks and hurdles are, and how to overcome those hurdles to reach that person.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one. It's really hard, like, to reach out to everyone, because to like have that, you really need that personal time, and personal time takes a long time. And if you do it for individual person, it's really hard, you know, especially when there's a big group. It's like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Because I can only do one person at a time, maybe two at max, you know. And then on top of that, you have your own personal struggles. So balancing that, you know, being like, oh, am I ready for this when I'm dealing with my own problems? So.
And sometimes, you know, because I am one of the only ones that are in this age range, and also very sincere, it's really hard to find someone who's actually very sincere in their spirituality and religiosity. And so sometimes I feel all alone, because I'm like, oh, I wish I had another support, or I'm fighting this battle all alone. I know God is with me, but I'm talking about like someone else. So when I came to this church, I was like, woohoo, yes, another person, finally. So it's not as difficult as it was before.
It really isn't.
So now I have a partner in crime.
I have a lot of partners now. Like, it's so weird because I have two partners.
Yeah.
And like the three of us, I think we really like share a similar goal and passion, and this, you know, working for God. It's amazing. It's really, if there's another person that stands next to you and, you know, supporting you, really, each other. Self-care, guys. Supporting one another.
Yes, two is better than one.
It is.
But also, you know, trying to find that person is another big hurdle to jump over, because it's really hard to find someone.
It's rare. I think
that's
the timing. I think timing is super important, and God's really good with that. He's really good bringing people in your life, you know, at a certain time. That's so like amazing. You know, I've been praying about it for so long. Like, God, I can't do this by myself. Like, I need support, someone from the church. I honestly like wasn't seeing anything, you know, and like I felt like he was just sending people, or like he wasn't sending people, but like people that were coming in were just not helping. And then when that person left, I was just like, oh man, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna give up. And then right at that time, unexpected moment, you guys came, and I was like, I can't leave.
Yeah, when she told me that, I was like a little surprised, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised, because I noticed that God, just knowing my heart, sends me where I am most needed. I was so shocked when people, like certain people tell me that, and I'm like, what? I just came because I wanted to just say hi. It's crazy when you trust God and you have the tools to help people, He's gonna send you places. And vice versa, when you need someone and you need that support and you ask God for it and you trust that He will send it to you, He will. Just like He trusted that God's gonna send someone, and it just happened to be me.
Pick up That's our thing now. Pick up it. All right, guys.
Let us know in the comments some things, why you decided to leave the church or why you didn't leave the church.
What made you come back?
Yeah. Some struggles that you go through. I'm sure that you're not the only one that's going through it, so please do share.
All churches are going through struggles. If the church isn't going through any struggles, that's a problem.
Yes, it is.
That means
there's something wrong.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's kind of suspicious. There's no perfect church.
Right.
Yeah, there's always room to grow.
Mhm. So, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
And hit the bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Till next time.